Good morning, everyone. This is Jennifer Tarle from Tarle Speech. I'm working with several students right now who are not familiar with Christmas and with American culture when it comes to Christmas. So I thought what we would do this month is talk all about the Christmas holiday. So we are talking today about Christmas books, and I'm going to show you some of these books. We are going to talk about them and some of the cultural things behind them. And then also you can ask me some questions. And if there is a book that you are really interested in, let me know. And I am going to record myself reading some of the books after the class today. All right, so here's what we have so far that we're going to talk about today. I have a board book. This is called a board book, and the book is made out of cardboard pages. These are especially made for little kids, toddlers, and babies. So kids up to about, I would say, 4 or 5 years of age, and they are more indestructible than a regular book. This one is the Nativity Story. And for those of you who come from a culture where you do celebrate Christmas, this might not be as exciting for you, but some of my students did not know that Christmas was based on the Nativity Story. So we're going to talk about that today. This is also a very famous Christmas poem, The Night Before Christmas. You could get this book in so many different versions. I like this one. I think it's sweet. My daughter was given this as a present. So we are going to take a look at this book. My all-time favorite Christmas movie is Elf. Love it. If you haven't seen it, Buddy the Elf is amazing. He is sort of a fish out of water, comes to New York. He was raised as an elf at the North Pole, but he's really a human. And this book tells the story. The movie is absolutely incredible. My favorite. We've already watched it one time this Christmas season. Elf on the Shelf. This is a relatively newish tradition in many families' homes who have young children. And you actually have a little elf that you move around your house every night from December 1st through Christmas Eve. And then the elf goes back to live with Santa. That elf is a scout, and she or he is watching to make sure the children are good. And then he's going to report back to Santa. So this is the story about that. This is a good one. This is Turkey Claus. It's about a turkey who's going to be eaten for Christmas and how he tries to evade that. And it's great. And then last, this is more of like an activity. It's Paint by Sticker Christmas. And so it's a craft. This is great if you're driving anywhere for the holiday. You have these little pictures. Like, let's look at this snowflake one. And then in the back of the book, there are stickers that match each page with little teeny tiny numbers. And then you put the stickers on here and you make a really beautiful piece of artwork. Okay, so again, we have the Nativity Story and The Night Before Christmas, Elf on the Shelf, and Elf, and Turkey Claus. Does anyone have a request for which book to start with? If you do, go ahead and drop that in the chat. And while I'm waiting for that, I do have a question for all of you as well. I am thinking about posting all of my lessons that I have on YouTube on a video podcast that would stream on Spotify. If you're interested in something like that, let me know as well. Okay, so no one has an opinion, totally fine. So let's go ahead and jump right in with the Nativity Story. So this is a Christian story, and it's about Mary and Joseph, who are Jesus's parents, and they must take a trip to go and be counted in a census. And while they are going back to their hometown of Bethlehem, Mary goes into labor. So Jesus is the reason that we celebrate Christmas. We celebrate the day Jesus is born on December 25th. And so this is the story of Mary and Joseph going to Bethlehem. And then they have Jesus in a barn, basically, because there is no room at the inn or hotel. We didn't call them hotels back then. So there's no room at the inn. So then Mary has Jesus in a very simple way amongst the animals. And then she places him in a manger, a little bed. And that is the story of Christmas. And the angels come. They are very excited that Jesus is born. And then several days later, the 3 wise men come bearing gifts. So that is the Nativity story, the Christmas story from the Christian tradition. So if you're interested in this book, I will definitely link it here and then also on my Amazon storefront as well. And I'll put all of those into the chat at the end. Okay, moving on to the night before Christmas. I do think that after class, I'm going to read this the entire way through because this story is very traditional. People in the US know this story. It's very classic. So it's based on the poem by Clement Moore. And it starts, I'll do the beginning. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. So 'twas means it was. We're just really reducing that. 'Twas the night before Christmas. So it's Christmas Eve, the night before Christmas. The entire house was very quiet. Everyone was sleeping. Nothing was stirring. Nothing was moving. Not even a mouse. And the stockings were hung by the chimney with care. So this goes back to a time when at night you would hang your stockings or your socks by the chimney, by the fireplace to dry them out, and they'd be nice and warm in the morning. And that is where we also get presents from St. Nicholas or Santa on Christmas morning. He leaves presents in the stockings, and then you open that up and you have presents on Christmas morning. This is a really fun, great poem. I love it. And then at the end, I'll read the last page. So Santa basically leaves. And then, but I heard him exclaim, I heard him say, fancy way to say, as he drove out of sight, Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. A lot of families have the tradition of reading this book on the night before Christmas when they're putting their children to bed so that all the children can be in bed, tucked away and sleeping so that Santa can come, because Santa can only come to a home when the children are sleeping, because it's very secretive and he can only come when the children are sleeping. So if the kids don't go to sleep, he's not coming. So this gets kids kind of into the excitement that Santa is coming. And in the morning, there will be lots of presents for them under the tree or in their stockings. Okay. Let's talk about the elf on the shelf. There are mixed opinions about the elf on the shelf in the US. Excuse me. So the elf on the shelf is this little tiny elf. You could buy them at lots of stores in the US, and it comes with a little tiny elf, and it comes with this book that basically gives you the rules on the elf on the shelf. So basically, this is the Reader's Digest version, the short version. This little elf shows up at your house and she's very mischievous. Our elf is a girl. She's very mischievous. And every night she moves around and she does little things and she watches the children to make sure that they are making good choices and not being naughty so that they're on Santa's good list. And the rule is that you cannot touch the elf. If you touch the elf, she loses her magical powers. So during the day, she just sits and watches you. And then at night when you're sleeping, she goes back to see Santa and she gives a report. And then she comes back and she does something silly. In our house, she moves around. So parents, we are helpers of the elves. And so if you are thinking about hiring this elf to come into your house, this is so much fun. I say do a partnership with the elf. Our elf's name is Sassy Boo. She's been with us for many years since my daughter was very, very little. And it is so much fun and so magical, especially when the kids are little. And it's really easy to support your scout elf. So I love it. I know there are mixed reviews if you talk to other people, but we love the elf on the shelf tradition in our house. I am doing another Christmas live about Christmas decorations and Christmas ornaments. So hopefully our elf Sassy will make an appearance at that. So if you're interested, be sure to tune in for that in a few weeks. I think that's actually next week so that you can see Sassy and meet her. She is a lovely elf. She's very silly and she's so much fun. Okay, moving on. Elf. Elf is a movie and it is also a book. It is such a great Christmas movie. It is about having kindness and just embracing the magic of life and of Christmas. I just love the movie. I cry. I laugh. I cry all the time. So good. So basically, this is a man. His name is Buddy the Elf. And he is living in an orphanage. So he doesn't have parents, or his parents are no longer with him, I should say. And he comes and accidentally gets into Santa's sack, which means his big bag, and goes back to the North Pole with Santa. So then Papa Elf adopts Buddy the Elf. Isn't that nice? See, there's love in the world. So then Buddy is raised as an elf, although he's very, very big, and he tries his best to be a really good elf, but he struggles because his hands are too big and he can't do all of the little elf tasks like making toys for Santa. So Buddy finally learns that he is a human. He's not really an elf, even though he's been raised as an elf and accepted as one. And he then goes on a magical journey to New York City. When he gets to New York City, of course, it is very different than the North Pole, and he has lots of adventures. I love that this movie is now over 20 years old, and so it's really interesting to see the culture even from 20 years ago. Lots of shopping in stores, not on the internet. So then Buddy finds his dad. Again, lots of funny things happen. Buddy also meets a really nice girl. And there she is, Jovi. And then Buddy saves Christmas with Christmas cheer. Everyone is singing, which helps Santa's sleigh to fly away because it's magic and Christmas cheer that get his sleigh to fly. And then in the end, everyone lives happily ever after. Such a good movie, such a great book. Love this one. I'm all here for this. Love, love, love this book. Okay. Chris, would I like a cup of coffee? Chris, cheers. I have a cup of coffee. This is like my fourth one from today. When it's this cold, I just love having a nice warm cup of coffee. Okay. This is a great stocking stuffer if you do celebrate Christmas. If you don't celebrate Christmas, this comes in a bunch of different versions. I love a paint by sticker book. So this is all Christmas themes. And let's go ahead and make the Christmas tree. So this is perforated. That's a great vocabulary word. Perforated means that sort of jagged cut in paper so that then you can easily rip out the page. So that's called a perforation. And then I'm going to go to the back and get the matching stickers. And again, these are perforated. I'm going to take these out. I love this as an activity with a few people. You can do this as a family in the car. These are great for in the car for car trips. So you find one of the numbers on here and then you match it up on here. So I'm going to start with a nice big one just so you can see how this works. This is number 39. And then I am going to put this on here. And then you just keep repeating until you finish everything. And then you have a beautiful painting. Oops, sorry, sticker issue here. Let me fix that. And then let me put one of the tree trunks on so you can see like a good idea of what this starts to look like. So you can see it'll be this mosaic, which I put together all of these different shapes, and then it will make my Christmas tree pattern. Here's what it looks like. So you can see and follow along and match it up. Just a great gift. Again, if you celebrate Christmas, this is a great gift. If you don't, this comes in many different versions. They even have adult versions where you can make famous paintings, and it's really, really fun. Hello, Rodrigo. Welcome. I hope you're enjoying the class. Okay, last book, excuse me, before we get into questions is Turkey Claus. This is a fun book. So this turkey, he has a bunch of different books. There's a whole series. And this is a crowd pleaser. Here is the turkey. This is a fun book if you have kids in your family that are different ages, because all different ages of kids love this book. I love this book. So this is by Wendy Silvano, and it's illustrated by Lee Harper. So it's Christmas Eve, and they are talking about what to have for Christmas. And the wife is like, hey, I'd love a nice turkey dinner. So they need a turkey. And the turkey says, oh my gosh, look at that face. It's like, no way. No turkey dinner, because that's me. I would be the turkey dinner. So he really tries to solve this problem, and he's going to meet with Santa. And I think what is very funny about this is that he tries a bunch of different disguises or different costumes to hide the fact that he is a turkey, and he thinks no one is going to recognize him. He even dresses up as Santa. So the book goes on and on like this. And in the end, he is successful because they have pizza for dinner instead of having turkey. And the ending is pizza on earth instead of peace on earth. It's a play on words there. Love the turkey. Great book. Again, there's one for the holiday of Thanksgiving in the U.S., and there are a few other versions in this turkey book. The original is called Turkey Trouble. That's the Thanksgiving version. And then you have Turkey Claus. So much fun. Okay, we have someone else here. So we have Cox Fam, Chris, Rodrigo, and one. Okay, all right. So those are the books that I have for you today. Love them all. So I would love for you to put in the chat, which book was your favorite? Turkey Claus, Paint by Sticker, Elf, Elf on the Shelf, two more, 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, or the Nativity Story? Do you have a favorite? If one of these is not your favorite and you have another favorite, go ahead and put that in the chat. Or if you have another question, let me know that as well. Okay, so I communicate with my students via YouTube, and I also communicate with my students through video meetings. I meet with a lot of students via different video platforms, depending on where they work. I do contract with some different companies, and I mainly teach pronunciation, public speaking skills, and higher level English in the form of working through really difficult articles to read, sort of maybe articles on from case studies that we may read. And so that is how I go about teaching. My native language, of course, is English. I do speak some Spanish. It's terrible, but I do. I've studied it for years, and I'm also studying right now some Japanese, which I'm finding to be very, very challenging. So we've got 2 votes so far, the Nativity and the Elf book. Okay. All right, everyone. So that is all for today. If you don't have any more questions, that's all good. Thank you all so much for being here. I will see you all next Monday. Please mark your calendars, share this with your friends. We will be talking about Christmas decorations next week. I'm hoping to show you my tree. I'm going to see if I can get the computer set up so that I can present from in there. And then the week before Christmas, the Monday before Christmas, I think that's the 23rd, going to have some special guest stars, my husband and my daughter. And we are going to be talking about Christmas cookies and trying some different Christmas cookies. So thank you, everyone, for being here. If you did enjoy this class, please tell your friends about it. Share the podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts. Share this YouTube live, the Facebook live. Really sharing with your friends is how I grow. If you have any requests, please leave them in the comments here or on any of my videos. I read and respond to every comment. If I've missed your comment, it's because it has not shown up on my behind the scenes YouTube platform or Instagram platform. So thank you all for being here. I hope you are enjoying the holiday season if you celebrate, and I look forward to seeing you all again next week. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.